Hey guys, so through here, I had a challenge for a long time until I came across a solution that worked so perfect for me. I think you guys will love it. And I'll go through a quick demo here of this solution. So, to set the stage on my screen, I have two terminals. So, this is a separate terminal here, another terminal. Now, the scenario is I use Claude Code quite a bit. So coming in here, I might be doing some work with Claude Code, coding away, and I really enjoy that. At the same time, I also enjoy Gemini. So if Claude Code runs out of tokens or for some reason it's not performing on my particular project, I'm always inclined to switch over to Gemini. And then if I want to go back to, say, Codex, you end up with another terminal and going back and forth. This was my workflow for a long time. And I thought to myself, what if there is a way to solve this? And this is where I came across this solution called tmux. And this is what I'm going to talk about. I think some people know what it is. I've always just had it in the back of my mind, but I didn't spend that much time in the terminal. So tmux was not really something I used quite a bit, but it's extremely easy. I'll show what it is, and then I'll show you my actual workflow, which I think is even game-changing, and that's really what you want to stay for. So come in here, type in tmux, click enter. Now tmux gives you the way to go into a terminal. Now you can have multiple terminals in one window as opposed to having one terminal here, open another one, and then you end up with 4 or 5 of these just all over the place. So tmux gave you a way to do that. Now the challenge with tmux for me was there was just a lot of commands with tmux that I did not appreciate. So I wanted something simple. And this is where I will show you something that I think you don't have on your machine, but it took me maybe a couple of an hour or so of vibe coding, and I was able to do this. So let's do AI def. Now, with one command, AI def, and I bet this doesn't exist on your machine. So let's just go slowly and watch this carefully. AI def, enter on this, and I'm going to do K on that. And voila, 4 terminals open up right in front of my screen, ready for me to be productive. On my left side here, you have a local. So this is my local Mac. This is the Mac I'm working from, Claude Code. To my right, you have my local, and Gemini has been open, ready for me to go. Bottom left, I have a Mac Mini that I use quite a bit for OpenClaw and just a lot of automation. I'm getting into that machine, SSH into that machine. I have it ready for me to go. And bottom right, I also have Gemini on the Mac Mini ready to go. So I could find myself vibe coding, say, with Claude Code on my local machine. So this is the Mac I'm doing this demo from. And if I run out of tokens or I'm exhausted or Claude Code is exhausted, I will essentially just switch over to Gemini, and you can see both are pointing to the same folder, and I can talk about that. Now, Gemini will be productive, and when ready, I can quickly deploy this code to my Mac Mini to stay productive. And I think it's a very, very powerful workflow having this particular setup. So now let's talk about something that you might run into, especially switching between terminals like this. And that's the reason why I was motivated to come up with this flow. And I think this flow is so powerful. If I come in, the biggest thing about vibe coding, I'm sure most, if you're watching this video, you'll probably appreciate this, is the idea of skills. If I'm doing something within Claude Code and I'm using skills and I'm using this reusable code or instructions, can I carry that over pretty quickly to Gemini? So let's do skills. Here, I'm going to just list out my skills. And there are a couple of skills that are available within this Claude Code CLI on my local desktop. So this is where a lot of the vibe coding happens. If this session for some reason is over and I want to quickly switch over to Gemini, the last thing I want is to redo and rework everything I did here, because that would defeat the purpose. So if I go over here now in Gemini, I can quickly pick up from that directory. My skills are ready. I load those skills and then off you go. And the reason why this is possible, because normally this is not possible. And the reason why this is possible is I have a symlink pointing to my skills from here on Claude Code to a common location, and I've asked Gemini to also point to that common location. So now I have a source of truth where all my skills reside. Then I'm just referencing that from the different terminals. And this gives me the portability. Sometimes I might have Claude Code working on some feature and Gemini working on some other feature. They are both burning tokens, and I'm staying productive that way. And then once done, I can quickly copy that over into into my MacBook Mini, my Mac Mini, to be done. Now let's talk through the last aspect of this, which is pretty cool. So I'll talk through the last aspect of, well, not the last aspect. Let's say second to the last aspect, because the last aspect I want to talk about is how you can get something like this done, because it's so easy. Now, if I come in here and I do AI dev, so this is kind of think about it like my toolkit, and it's a custom toolkit, and I'll do AI dev. So instead of AI dev that we did before, I'll just do AI dev list so I can show you guys all my commands. So in here, if I just do AI dev, it's going to launch the tmux like you saw with the default sessions. If I do AI dev, let's do AI dev local codex. Let's do codex mix. So instead of doing Gemini and Claude Code, I'm going to do maybe, let's see what this gives us. This gives us Claude Code this time, and Codex CLI from OpenAI for us to use. Isn't that powerful? Isn't that amazing? All right. So now I could be doing Claude Code on my left, Codex on my right. I could have Gemini CLI here, and I could have whatever permutation of this CLIs you want. You can essentially have it as such. And I think that's really cool, because you really have to arbitrage these models. I use the different models for different uses, and this is the best way. AI dev. I should spell it correctly. This is the best way I've found to do that. So let's do two panes. So I'll do AI dev local only as an example. And instead of opening, if you saw below, there was a session below that was my Mac Mini. So in case I just want to do a quick local only development, I have, in this case, Claude Code. I always keep Claude Code to my left because that's the one I go to very quickly. And then Gemini to the right. Again, this is the permutation. But like you saw, all the skills, I didn't show you the skills on Codex, but all those skills carry over, all the context carries over, and I can just jump in between all of these environments. And the reason for showing this is just to encourage you that this is possible. This is the holy grail of why we have skills, because you now have that portability to go across these models and take advantage of their different strength for these models. Let's do AI dev one more time. You can use AI dev like I do, or you can use a different command. I also have some instructions here or some tools that are in here. For me, this is just more of a reminder. So something like BTOP. I don't call this with AI dev, but just having this as a quick reference, if I do BTOP, I can quickly go in, see what's happening on my CPU, see what's hugging, and I think most people will know BTOP. Highly recommend. Highly recommend this. In addition to BTOP, there is LLM Fit. Is another really, really good one. You can see the different LLM models, their sizes, the tokens, what they're perfect for. Just overall good utilities to have handy. This gives me a quick way to see that. So now you might say, but Fru, this is amazing. You've done all the work to do it. I wanna get something similar to this. And if I was doing this maybe 6 months ago, I would be going through a very, very detailed tutorial. Unfortunately, the models have taken me away from that job, because if I'm doing a tutorial, that's just really being pedantic. It's really just going to be too elementary at this point. So what I would say is just come in here and say, let me talk this into the prompt. So can you help me install tmux on my machine? I want it so that when I write a command called AI, you should launch 2 sessions in tmux, one to the left that opens up Claude Code and one to the right that opens up Gemini CLI. And in both sessions, I want you to default to my home directory as documents folder. Open that by default for both sessions. All right. So I just spoke, and unfortunately, my this prompt is kind of I don't want to submit this prompt because it's going to execute. But that was the prompt that I just used, right? And you can have any iteration of that prompt as long as you have the intent, what I just said right now. Put this into your prompt. It's going to download and just get you through installing tmux. Once you've installed it, it's going to ask for the command you want. It's going to do all the sim links. If you want to sim link things from one location to another thing, if you have a Mac Mini, you want to connect to that, this will take care of all of that for you. So I really, the only thing I can say is just put your intention in here and you will get the result. That's what I did to have what you just saw me do. But hopefully this gives you an inspiration. I think this, to me, is the holy grail of having a powerful AI development environment like you've just seen me done. So give it a try. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Share a comment if you have one. Share this with somebody that might get value out of it. As always, this is a Fro here with FroDev. I will see you in the next demo.